Hello again, everybody. It's TJ, the Stereo-Bargainphile, and I am very pumped up today to finally bring you all my overview of the JBL-Studio-580 Tower speakers, loudspeakers. And first and foremost, I just want to go over the price. I think that should be one of the first things a reviewer or over-reviewer can't even get it out. One of the first things we should go over is the price up front. Normally, these JBL-Studio-580 Tower speakers, they are normally $1,600 US. That's right, they're normally $1,600 US. Here lately, JBL has been having some big sales on what I call their 5 series studio series. And I've seen these speakers drop down all the way to $299 a piece, up to $400 a piece. So, you know, somewhere between $600 and $800, you can purchase these speakers, and I'll say it just right at the beginning, yes, they're definitely worth it. So first and foremost, I just want to go over a couple of the bigger specs of these speakers down in the description. I will have a link that you can go to showing you all the specs straight from JBL, but I just want to go over it real quick with you all. The JBL-Studio-580 Tower speakers, they stand in the front at 42 inches tall, which is an excellent height. The height I normally have around my bookshelf speakers when I put them on stands. I think it's about 3 foot and 7 inches altogether. But in the front it's 42 inches. If you look over here on your left hand side, if you look towards the back, you'll see it drops down to 38 inches. That is a 4-inch incline that the JBL, the engineers, they done that incline, and the reason why they did that was to break up standing frequency waves inside the box. Now if we look here on the front, it's 10 inches all the way across. And not only is it 10 inches across, but as it goes towards the back, on the back on it, it's only 7 inches across. So again, it's tapering in 3 inches to help with those standing waves. I know a lot of people say, well, this is only a speaker a mother could love, or a face of a speaker a mother could love, but I tell you what, I love them especially for their price point. And one last thing, the depth of the speaker is 14 inches. So, you know, it is a small tower speaker, but on the bigger side of the small speaker before it comes a medium-sized speaker. But anyways, they weigh 50 pounds a piece. They either come with just some regular plugs on the bottom, or you can add spikes on the bottom to them. So let's go ahead and get into the drivers real quick. Down here you'll see we have two 6.5-inch drivers. These drivers, the material is made out of paper. We all know that paper is good because it's lightweight, so it helps with speed. And paper is also a good dampening material. But what JBL wanted to do, they wanted to put this laminate, this polypropylene laminate on the front of it, you know, to give it more structure and more rigidity. And that's exactly what it did. But anyways, they got some huge magnets on the back of them. I'm going to show you all that. But anyways, you get 2 of them. The crossover switches over on these two-way designs at 1500 hertz. The total speaker plays from 40 to 40,000 hertz. But up here at the top, we have actually a compression driver for the tweeter. It's just not a conventional tweeter, it's actually a compression driver. And back in here, you can see this is somewhat of a horn design back here. But out here, this is your big wave guide. That's what's going to project, you know, those frequencies out at you. And the way JBL done this is they wanted you to have a large, a very wide soundstage. And that they did. But anyways, overall, yeah, they're not super too big. And even in a near field listening room, you know that if you want great center imaging, you turn those speakers in 40, 60 degrees, it'll be playing tricks on your mind. You know, it's on my mind being playing tricks, but yeah, it did that to me. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get over just real quick of my opinion of the sound signature of the speaker. Again, they're 90 dB efficiency. If I didn't say that, it means they're very efficient. It means this amplifier up here over my right hand shoulder, the IOTAVX-STACK rated at 45 watts at 8 ohms and rated at 100 watts at 4 ohms. You know, it paired up very well. It drove these JBL Studio 580s pretty easy. It wasn't, you know, no concert level, but it drove them way better than my previously reviewed JBL Studio 530 bookshelf speakers. Those speakers are a lot harder to drive than the 580s, but they were rated at 86, 87 dB, where the JBL Studio 580 are rated at 90 dB. So they're very easy to drive. And I just want to go ahead and say, let's start off with my opinion of the sound signature. I want to start off with the low frequencies, the bass and the upper mid-range. The bass on these speakers, you all, are outstanding. They got good grip and control, speed and accuracy, even when it plays down to 40 hertz. That's right. When it plays down to 40 hertz, the structure just holds itself together. Very good. I mean, I was so impressed with the bass on these speakers. It's some of the best I've ever heard on this budget price, and being 6.5 inch. I mean, it just, some people won't even need a powered subwoofer if they're using these for 2-channel music listening. But yes, the bottom end is great on these, and I'm going to show you those drivers. Okay, so now let's go up to the what I call the upper mid-range and the whole top end sound. The reason why I say it is because this speaker, again, it's crossed over at 1500 hertz. So yes, that's, I think, one of the reasons why JBL used a compression driver to pick up that, you know, that top of the mid-range all the way up to the high end. In the top end, I'll go ahead and tell you all, I was, again, very impressed. The vocals were really good, really realistic. The male vocals didn't sound too chesty at all. Even the female vocals at high pitch sounds, you know, when they get up there in frequencies, it was never too fatiguing to me. Even though, you know, most of these horn-loaded speakers, they all, you know, have that very lively, you know, top end. Very good overall dynamics. But like most speakers, like my Clips Reference Premier speakers, they're even more livelier. I'll go over that here in a minute compared to the JBL. The JBL, instead of, you know, like Clips would be right up in your face, well, JBL, it's a little bit more matured on that top end sound. It's more like 6 inches in front of you, and that really helps not having that fatiguing. You know, the top end, it, you know, overall, it doesn't sound, you know, too warm, doesn't sound too cool. Now, it's got just a little bit of a coolness to it. But again, it has a very, very wide sound stage to it. The center imaging is very impressive. And overall, you know, that top end that has that sharp, crisp, accurate sound that's not too fatiguing. It's lively, laid back. If there's even a such thing. Lively and laid back overall. But yes, I just want to go ahead and say, for that price point, I think it sounds amazing for the price. Very good build quality. Again, 50 pounds a piece, 90 dB efficiency, 42 inches tall in the front, 10 inches wide in the front, 7 inches in the back, stands up 38 inches in the back. They're not overly big, and they do sound good. In my 10 by 12 near field listening room, they sounded great, you all. And they also sounded really, really good on home theater. Just if you could catch these on sale, I would call these a 50-50 speaker. I would recommend these to somebody that's going to be watching movies half the time and somebody listening to music half the time. Because for this price point, even in music playback, say you get these for $700-800. You might get lucky and get them for $600-ish. But say you get them, you would be very hard pressed to find another speaker at this price point to have this overall full sound. I mean, these tower speakers, they're going to give you more of a scale than, you know, a bookshelf speaker. But it's much bigger. But anyways, just wanted to go over that real quick. So now I'm going to pause it. I'm going to show you all the drivers. I'm going to show you all the 2 crossovers built inside, all the bracing, all the dampening material. So let's get to it. And I hope I didn't miss out on saying something. Okay, it's time to pop the hood. You all know I love to pop the hood. First, let's go down here and take a look at the 6.5-inch drivers that come on these JBL-Studio-580 Tower speakers. Those have some meaty magnets on them, folks. Very heavy for its size. It's almost like having two subwoofers down at the bottom. I'm going to do this long enough in case you all want to take a good look. You can pause it. Now I'm going to pause it real quick. Okay, here you go. As you can see, it's got about a 2-inch voice coil. And there you can see the paper on the other side. And there's the polypropylene laminate on top. This part are very, very, very well built, you all. Nice drivers. Can't believe they're so easy to drive. Okay, let's go inside of the JBL-Studio-580 Tower speaker box. We'll check out the bracing and everything. Here is the bottom crossover for the low frequencies. And if you look up here at the top, here is your crossover design for your high frequencies. So if we try to get them close to both at the same time. I'll stay still here in a minute so you all can see. Here we go. But here I'll get you all close up here. You can see the bracing inside the box also. And then down here, here's the other crossover. I bet Danny at GNR Research, boy, I bet he could really make these towers sing. They already do for their price point. You catch these on sale between $600 and $800. You got yourself a very good speaker. And here you will see even all the way up to the top. There's your has all the dampening material. The MDF board, before I forget, is 3/4 of an inch thick MDF board. But not only do you got all that bracing up there, like I showed you all, look here, more bracing. But down here you have even more bracing. So you got bracing here, and it goes across the front too. Bracing at the top. And there's our port. And even got dampening material on the bottom also. But yes, that's 3/4 of an inch thick MDF board. 50 pounds. Everything dampened up really good inside. Very, very good build quality. That is normally a $1,600 build quality US. That you can get on a very, very good deal right now while they're on sale. As you can see, with very large drivers. On the back, we have our base port, and the back is very large. Even when dropping down to 40 Hertz, and I mean having it turned up, I don't hear that port shuffling. Here's our 5-way binding post in case you want to bi-amp. Yes, you can change out those jumpers. I will tell you, when you plug banana plugs in them, they hold very tight. Very tight. I was impressed with that. But they are gold. Remember those feet right there on the corners, you all. But yes, very good build quality. Let's go over here on this side so you all can see them completely from the back. Alright. Now that that's over, now for my overview. Okay, I'm just going to tell you all like this. If you all can get these speakers between $600 and $800 US, you are getting a very, very great deal. Now, if you was somebody going out having to pay the full price, $1,500, $1,600 for these tower speakers, who would I most likely recommend that to? Well, at that price point, I would recommend these tower speakers for somebody that's doing a 50-50. Which I mean, they're going to be, watching movies on them 50% of the time and listening to music on them 50% of the time. But overall, like I said, these have great bass. They got good tight grip, even down to 40 Hertz. Now, me, myself, in my near field room, I highly recommend some of you to use these base ports, especially if you're going to put it close against the wall. I had it about 1.5 to 2 foot. I think JBL recommends you having them 20 inches away from the wall without these. But I tell you what, when I listen to low to medium volumes and it's dropping, down to that 40 hertz, I stick these, these port plugs in, and then, to push up to like 45, 50 hertz with a little even bit more, quicker speed to it, because it's not allowing, that energy to get out of the box. But anyways, the top end, it is very lively. Again, it's got that sharp, crisp, mature sound to it that's non-fatiguing. I mean, these are very non-fatiguing. Now, I will say, compared, because I know you all like comparisons. So right here, I got the JBL-Studio-580 bookshelf speakers. And I will say, the 580 is a little bit more lively on the top end than what the 530s are. 530s are laid back a little bit. But when I get in, because all these are the same size tweeters, all the same size tweeters. Here you have the reference Premier. It's got the 1-inch titanium tweeter. Is the Clips 160 is much more livelier than the 580. So the 580 kind of falls in, that top end sound kind of falls in between the 530s and the Clips, which I guess it has to make up where it has a lot more bass in the low end. You got bigger box, bigger woofers in it. But anyways, there have been some outstanding speakers overall. And just to show you how good a quality, a $1,600 speaker is. Now remember that. Now these would really compete with Clips, I guess, with their reference Premier 6000s, but which is their tower speaker. But anyways, I think those still only go for about $1,200 a set, $1,000 to $1,200 a set. Or normally these normally go, for $1,600. Well, what I'm getting ready to do, I want to show you all how nice these drivers are that come with the JBL. I'm going to compare it. I actually took one of the Clips reference Premier 160 monitor speaker out, its driver, 6.5-inch woofer. Also comes in the reference Premier 600M and the RP 6000. I know you all love comparisons. Sorry about the jiggle. I know you all like comparisons. So over here on your all's right hand side, this is the 6.5-inch reference Premier Clips woofer. Look at it compared to the 6.5-inch JBL drivers. I'm not putting Clips down at all because the JBL is a little bit more expensive of a speaker. Just on these crazy sales when you can pick them up for the same price. I mean, $600 to $800 depending on where you're at. But yeah, that's the difference. The JBL drivers weigh about twice the weight. Maybe 1.5 times the weight. Okay, there was the quick comparison. And I wasn't trying to put Clips down or reference Premier speakers down or anything like that at all, because normally these are a much more expensive speaker. A lot of times, we all know you basically get what you pay for a lot of times. But my job is to go out there and find those crazy deals, find those good sale price points to help us people out here, working our ass off from paycheck to paycheck. So we can get those great deals also. And that's what I did. Sorry I didn't go too much, in the comparison with the reference Premier 160 monitor speaker or with the 530. Overall the JBL-Studio-580, that top end sound, just a tad bit on the cool side. It's lively but laid back. I know if there's a such thing, that's what it does. It's more like 6 inches away from your face instead of being up in your face. The only caveats that I have with the speakers are the little feet at the bottom. They're made out of plastic. They look like they would be very, very easy to break. But other than that, I don't have no other caveats with the speakers. I mean, some people will say, well, maybe the looks. But anyways, they're 50 pounders, 90 dB efficient, easy to drive. Got a, you know, wide sound stage to it. Very wide sound stage. Don't matter, you can be walking around in the room. Good center imaging. Instrument separation. I seen good space, you know, in between the artist as I'm sitting there listening to it. And when I told y'all, I think in some comments, you tilt them in 40 to 60 degrees off axis and tune it in to what I call your magic chair, you'll hear some center imaging that is pretty freaky. I mean, I was listening to some really fast electronic techno music, and it was tripping me out a little bit, and I wasn't smoking nothing. But anyways, this is my whole take on the JBL-Studio-580s. Outstanding speakers. I highly recommend them from $600 to $800. I think you'd be really hard pressed, even in the, you know, for 2-channel music, of finding a speaker that would have this overall performance for that price point. But then again, if you were buying them for full price for $1,600, for that much money, I would more likely recommend it to somebody that likes that 50-50. You know, 50% watching movies and 50% listening to music. Because they do sound great on home theater also. But I guess that wraps it up. Until next time, this is TJ, the Stereo-Bargainphile. Hello again, everybody. It's TJ, the Stereo-Bargainphile. That's right, these JBL-Studio-580 Tower loudspeakers have so much life in them. The dynamics. Whoa, I just can't get over how much life they have. They have so much life in them. They started talking to me. I'm sorry, Steve. I had to do it. I had to do it. Well, hello there. That's right, you all. I'm just going to tell all of you all. I'm going to tell all of y'all. It all sounds fake. None of it sounds real. Even live performances, they sound fake too. I'm sorry. Hello again, everyone. It's TJ again. And today, I just want to go over a little something, you know, that I've been thinking about lately. And that's, good enough. Is it good enough? Do you have that certain limit that when something's good enough? Because in today's audio world, there is so much good, you know, you got to have excellent. Oh. Okay, you all, enough of that. You know, just trying to have a little, you know, a little bit of fun, you know, doing these overviews. You know, a lot of us have been locked up in the house due to this COVID-19 pandemic that we've been having all over the whole wide world. I want to give a big thank you to all the people out there that are working essential jobs, putting, you know, their life on the line of catching this virus to make sure us that are stay at home still have everything that we need to be able to get. And I also want to give a huge thank you to everybody out in the medical field right now that is on that front line fighting that COVID-19 virus, you know, helping, you know, the sick people and people passing away. And my heart prayers do go out to those families that have lost people. This is a serious time right now, you all. And, you know, it was kind of hard for me to do this overview. It took me like 5 or 6 clips to do it because I don't do no editing on this channel, as you all know. Hell, I don't even ask people to even subscribe to the channel. You know, I'll leave that up to the viewer out there to make that decision. But anyways, I don't want to get off on that. But just my heart really goes out to everybody right now. And y'all be safe out there. Stay inside. And try to stay at least 6 foot away from people. And until next time, this is TJ, the Stereo-Bargainphile.